January 2026. On paper, the UK economy is at a crossroads. The unemployment rate has hit 5.1%, an 11-year high. While that might sound like a minor fluctuation for a generation used to the hiring boom of the early 2020s, this is a wake-up call. Why now? It's a perfect storm. Business costs are at a breaking point due to payroll tax hikes, energy overheads are stubbornly high, and automation is no longer a future threat. In retail and services, machines are finally replacing the roles that wage hikes made too expensive to maintain. With GDP growth moribund at 1%, the engine simply isn't creating enough new seats to replace the ones being removed. To understand if we're in a crisis, we have to look back. In 1933, during the Great Depression, unemployment peaked at 23%. This wasn't just a softening, it was a total freeze. In industrial hubs like Glasgow or South Wales, that number hit 70%. Today's 5.1% is a cooling market. The 1930s was a dead one. 50 years later, the 1980s brought mass unemployment back into the British lexicon. At 11.9% in 1984, the rise was driven by a violent structural shift moving away from coal and manufacturing. Today, our transition is digital, but the social friction feels familiar. Even the 2008 crash saw a peak of 8.1%. Back then, workers did something unique. They accepted pay freezes to save their jobs. In 2026, we're seeing a different trend: economic inactivity. People aren't just losing jobs, many are simply leaving the workforce entirely. Economists call 5.1% the danger zone. It represents a fundamental shift in leverage. For workers, the era of the Great Resignation is dead. Employers are back in the driver's seat, and wage growth is expected to slide toward 3% for the government. This is fiscal drag. Fewer taxpayers and more benefit claimants mean a shrinking pot for public services. This puts the ball firmly in the court of the Bank of England. Rising unemployment is usually the final signal the bank needs to cut interest rates. If the heart of the economy isn't beating, they have to jumpstart it. We aren't in a 1930s collapse, but we are in a pivot. The question is, how many people will be left behind before the rates start to fall?